Cloud. This is episode number 81. Hey, Johnny, we are back for another great episode of your podcast. How the family situations happen for you over the holidays? Everything go well with them?
Awesome. Yeah. We had just a great time. Everybody hanging out all the way that blitz from Thanksgiving to really New
Yeah,
Year's. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It seems like it flies by, but you do so many fun things together. A lot of cool memories. And
Yep.
you always like, we want to do this. You want to make the ornament. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. You
Oh
want to be
yeah.
with your grandkids and game night and,
It's
Christmas
just
Eve service, um, getting together, decorating the trees.
yeah. A lot of good
Yeah.
memories though. That's
And
what that's what
there's a
it's
lot
all
of cool
about.
things around here in Michigan. We did a Christmas light drive-through thing, which was really
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
Took my one grandson to see his favorite's a Grinch. He's 3.5. He'll be 4 in a couple months, actually. He loves the Grinch, but as soon as we
Okay.
got there, he did not want to go within 10 feet of him.
Yeah, that's
No
happened.
picture, no nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
but anyway, we had a great time. There's so many cool
That's good.
things. And
I'm
now
glad.
we're in the dark days of January, but
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know, March is just around the corner.
It is.
Yeah, we got to get
March
through February.
Madness, lots of basketball coming up, and it's really interesting. I hadn't thought about it until just now. Basketball has some rules that have to be followed to play the game well. And today we're talking about playing by the rules because in planning for retirement, there are some rules that have to be followed that a lot of people don't really understand. And that's what we want to talk about today is just some of the rules around, like getting money out of a 401k, rules around Social Security, when you can take it, and when you can't, and what happens, or rules around Medicare and all that. So, talk just a little bit about the importance of not just playing by the rules, but knowing the rules in order to play the retirement game the best way possible, so that you actually win that game, right?
Yeah, so there's because we're dealing with the government has their hands on everything, which is
That's it.
including our retirement, obviously Medicare, Social Security. So there's kind of two different kind of rules. There's a rule where talking about basketball where you get a foul, the other team goes to the free throw line. No,
Yep.
you break the rule, that happens. The other rule is you get kicked out of the game or suspended. Like and in retirement, there are rules where like you break the law rule where
Yeah.
you don't watch those, you are in trouble. But then there's rules where you're going to get a penalty. And the penalties when you're dealing with retirement are always what? Financial.
Yes.
Money. It costs you money. Can I do this? Yes, you can, but you're going to get a penalty, which means you're going to have to pay some money to be able to break that particular rule.
That's
So
good.
it's like once again, basketball. I'm in the
Yep.
game still. It just cost my team maybe 2, 3 points.
Right.
Or I did something really bad. I've been booted out of the league or,
Right.
whatever it may be. So those are the kind of the mindsets of rules. So the I don't think most people no one I've really dealt with has ever broke the
Right.
to
Get
get put in
kicked out of the
prison or something
game.
like that. We see it happen. We read articles,
Yeah.
stuff, but a lot of folks don't know the other rules that cause a foul line penalty or that
Right.
cost you money. And
That's
those are the
right.
ones that you kind of want to, especially as you're getting close to that retirement age. The older you get, the less restrictive some of those rules don't apply anymore. Okay. The older
Okay.
you get. But when you're under 60 and stuff, you've got some rules you got to be aware of with 401ks, retirement plans, that kind of thing. You get past 59 and a half, those rules necessarily don't apply anymore. But now we're
Yeah.
dealing with some Social Security aspects, some Medicare things,
Yeah.
tax guidelines you
Well,
want to follow, or else you get penalized big time. So
yeah.
rules change, unfortunately, throughout the game of life
That's right.
dealing with retirement. It's not like it's one set, like, hey, you do this rest of your life, you don't break this rule, you're good. No, there's different
Yeah.
rules for different ages, for different plans,
Yeah.
for different
Well, and you
scenarios.
have to understand them because, if you're planning and you've got a 401k, you got lots of money in your 401k and you start taking that out, well, that income is now taxed, but it also that income depends on how much money you make, right? Can impact how much you pay for Medicare. And we talked about Aunt Irma a while back. She can sit there and have some money coming her way if you're not playing by the rules. And then a lot of people, Johnny, you work with a lot of people who want to leave an inheritance to their family, which is always a great thing. At the same time, there are some rules around what those kids have to do with that and the tax impact and how fast they have to get rid of that, that you just need to know the rules. I remember playing a kickball game years ago when I was a kid. And a bunch of us kids we're at a party, a picnic or something, and we were getting ready to do it. And one of the dads came out and said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, time out, come here." And he says, "What are the rules?" And he wanted to make sure that we all had, because it was just a sandlot pickup game of kickball, right? We
I love
all probably
kickball.
had different rules. And he's like, "No, no, no, we're going to set the rules. Now we can go play." And it made a big difference. You just help people understand the rules around retirement so that they don't get as many penalties or hopefully none at all. But there are so many rules and different things, and it's just wow. It could become a really big mess if you don't think about it, right?
Yeah, and following your sports analogy, which I love kickball, by the way. I don't even know if kids still play that,
Yeah, I
honestly.
saw. I was doing we were working with one of our clients. An adult client plays kickball in his community, and I thought, wow, I never heard of adults playing kickball, but yeah,
I don't know if I've seen kids out playing kickball
I
or they
don't
do
think
it at
kids do. Yeah,
playgrounds. I mean, real quick, growing up in the era I did, and you were
yeah,
unfortunately a little older than me, Mike, but that's
that's right.
okay. We still played the same stuff, right? Kickball,
Absolutely.
dodgeball. You
Dodgeball.
played dodgeball, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
think
all
that's
the time.
illegal. I think that's illegal in the United States now. I don't even know if you're allowed to play dodgeball. You remember Foursquare where you had to kind of bounce the
All the
ball?
time, dude. Yeah.
So those
No,
were all
so
great games, which leads me to say every game has different rules. So
yeah,
every stage in life, if you look at it that way, has different rules at different stages you are in your life, with
yeah,
retirement stuff. So kind of keep that going. But we try to help you figure out the rules. You have a client, we've had a client come in and say, "Hey, I want to withdraw this amount of money. I like to pay my house off or put a big chunk down." Well, if you do that, here's the tax consequences or rule. This rule will apply to you in this aspect where now it's going to cost you 8,000 more dollars if you did it now versus splitting it up over a
yeah,
couple years, following some more tax guideline rules, so to say,
yeah.
tax bracket rules, you know, um,
That's right.
that
There-
why cause a penalty if you don't have to,
That's right.
right? So understanding tax brackets, understanding Medicare income situations. When do I have to do my part A and B or whatever? I'm still working, all these different
Oh
things.
man.
There's so much to go over. It's more of an individual situation because everybody's at a different stage in the game in their life.
Yeah.
And there's just, unfortunately, like I said, it's not
What?
across. We're not all playing kickball,
That's
right?
right.
Some of us have moved on to baseball or
Yeah.
football, or now it's pickleball,
Pickleball. That's right.
whatever.
Yeah.
So
But you've got to have somebody who knows how to read the rule book, interpret the rules, and Johnny and his team are experts at that. And you don't want to go into a game not knowing the rules. And I think that's one thing that just makes retirement planning so complex for normal people like me is I don't even understand the rules of how and when I can take Social Security or when I can change that or what's Medicare. And I know we did one episode, Johnny. I think it was Medicare or Medicaid, and it has like 17 different parts to it, and they all in. And it's like well, I don't understand that, but you've got a rule book. You got to know the rules in order to play the game well, and that's really what all I want to talk about today is playing by the rules because you're right in retirement, you don't want penalties, and you definitely don't want to go to jail. So you got to play by the rules. Johnny and his team know the
right.
rules. They can help guide you down the process of living, retiring at new heights, retiring in a way that you love, that you can spend time with your family, have those holidays, and make sure that you stay within the rules that are prescribed. And when the rules change, because they can change, you got to have somebody who understands how to interpret them and apply them to you. That's what Johnny and his team does. So go get a copy of Johnny's book. It's a great start, but really sit down, have a conversation with them,
And,
schedule a time
and
to meet with them.
I'll say this last thing on this is that if for some reason there are specialty things that are difficult, we got to dig into. We always will find out for you. We've got specialists that help with the tax planning, that help with the Medicare, all that kind of stuff that we have partnered with over time to develop good relationships to help people. So we don't just care about the dollar line on your statement. I really mean that. The overall plan to follow the rules for Medicare, for tax planning, all that kind of stuff, so forth, and Social Security. So, yeah, we
Great.
love to talk with you. It's a holistic approach. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
So we do play more than kickball. It's kind of like gym in school. Remember, one
That's
day you
right.
play kickball, the next day you play dodgeball. We have fun with all of it
That's
and
right.
try to help you out. But I will say I think dodgeball was always my favorite, just because it's probably the most violent.
It is.
And you know what I mean? When you got the kid that was wearing the glasses, and unfortunately, you
Oh
caught
yeah.
how
Poor guy.
vicious is that to say now, right? We're gonna
I know it.
banned off YouTube, Mike. I don't know, but um, yeah, dodgeball was great, and I think
Yep.
everybody that's Gen X or older knows it was too. If you
That's
didn't,
right. Yeah, whether they admit it or not. So
absolutely.
let's that's a good way to stop this episode is on dodgeball. I love it because we just really want you to play by the rules. So grab a copy of Johnny's book, sit down, talk with him, and he promises not to throw a dodgeball at you. So
Never,
Johnny,
never.
take care, buddy. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, see you, Mike.